Okay. Well, the names have been changed to protect the innocent, but it was a good story, so I thought I'd put it down on here. Well, there was this woman I was hanging out with. She lived down there on the Julia Road, where the Julia Road met the Brownstown, or they call it the Brownstown cutoff for the Julia. Different names for those roads, and different people call them different things, but you got an idea where it was. And she had a boyfriend, but he was like a big game hunter, and he'd go everywhere. He'd go to Alaska, Idaho, wherever it was. He'd go game hunting, and she would ask me. Somehow she got a message to me, or I'd see her, come on over and visit. Well, you know how guys are. I was very excited. So I remember one time I got the message to come on down. It was in the middle of summer, and we were putting up hay. And I don't care what anybody says about putting up hay. It's a lot of work. It's sweaty and itchy and scratchy, but, there's some camaraderie. We used to drink Switchel, which was sort of like lemonade. It was water and a cider vinegar and sugar. And then I can't remember if we had got to the point where we were baling hay or if we were still putting it up in hay bales. I know we had a hay, I guess it was a hay bales. We had a hay loader. So we had this contraption that you pulled with the horses, and it had these tines, and it would throw the hay up, and you had a couple of guys with wooden pitchforks, and that's why they were wooden, because you'd be sticking one another and getting in and throwing it into the wagon. Well, we'd put up hay, and by the time you get done, it was late, and you were tired. But I remember that day, I had a date. Of course, I didn't drive in those days, and it was too far to walk. I was whooped. So anyway, after taking a bath with the rainwater, of course, I got Billy Joe. By this time, it was getting close to dark. I got Billy Joe and saddled him up and rode him down the Friars Hole Road. I got to 219, and it wasn't too much that you had to stay on 219 before you got to the cutoff road, but still, there wasn't much of a shoulder, and the road was pretty curvy then, so it was hard to ride on the hardtop, but I did it. It wasn't too long I got to the Brownstown. That was a nasty road. It was a lot easier on a horse than I remember years later in a car where Oscar lived there. But I rode down, and I got down to the house and, hung out for a while and had to come home. I had hay to make the next day. It was pretty late when I come back. Got Billy Joe, rode up. Of course, now at this point, it was not a problem riding on 219, because in those days, you never saw a car on the road after dark once you got past Needhawks, much less up there in Rennick. So I got to 219, I got to Leonard Road, which was still hardtop. As soon as I got to Friars Hole Road, I was whipped. I just sort of laid down on the saddle and put the reins down, and Billy Joe, he knew the way. He just took me right up and took me right back to the barn, and I got him in there, brushed him down, gave him a little grain, took the saddle off and put him out in the field, and that was the midnight ride of Paul Revere.